Hello guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how to use Affinity Designer curves in Houdini Vellum. Okay, so you can achieve something like this. The main reason I'm using Affinity is because I started learning Vellum in Houdini using the drawing curves and other tools here, but the tools here are not so intuitive, and I don't think so good for when we need to make changes later in the pattern. Okay, so you see here the stitches, and if I turn the wireframe mode, you see we have the internal edge length. If I change this here, I'm using the planar patch from curves. Okay, if I change to 2, you can see it updates automatically. Okay, you can see here I can play again, and it will simulate with more resolution. Okay, but I can change it back at any time and increase, so you have we have more or less resolution. Okay, which means a faster or a slower simulation. I will not gonna teach you about Vellum. That's another subject entirely. I'm still learning too. But here I have the Affinity Designer file that I exported as an EPS. I found it very helpful to use this workflow, but we need to make sure that the Affinity Designer file is made considering some key points. Okay, I have just this is just a background reference. Okay, I'm using but the important thing is the curves. Okay, I'm using here a group, but you can leave it outside a group, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that if we look at SideFX docs, when they teach about the draping workflow for Vellum, we see that they recommend that we use one stroke per seam. Okay, the curves will become the seams of your garment. Okay, so it is recommended that we use one stroke per seam, because then when we use the planar patch from curves, this node is gonna automatically create for us the seam groups. Okay, so let's go back here. You can see the why I'm using this. Okay, if I select all the curves, I'll for example change the shape. Okay, if I select these points here, for example, let's change the curve, let's increase some here. Okay, I can change the shape. It doesn't matter here, the points I don't have to snap. It is snapping, but I didn't have to. Okay, it is not necessary, as I'm snapping using the fuse node in Houdini, so it's gonna snap there anyway. Okay, you just need the points to be close enough, but you have to do it in a way that each curve that you draw, it's a different stroke. Okay, it's a different layer here, because Houdini is gonna read this as different strokes and is gonna recognize. Okay, so once we have this kind of design we can export. We're going to let's hide anything that you have here. You can go to save, export. Let's export as EPS. Okay, that's the format we're gonna use, EPS, export. Then you choose the in this case I have here, but you can save as another one. Then you go to here, and if I click, for example, let me see, that's the where I see when it gets loaded. If I reload, you can see it changes. But not only that, if I go to the drape, you can see I still have the stitches. Okay, it is welded already. So if I play, you can see it works. I don't have to redo the seams. The problem I had before is that when I changed the pattern, when I change the pattern, I sometimes have to change. I usually have to change and redo the seams part here in the draping node. Okay, so I'm gonna do another example here starting from 0, so you can see the advantages of using this method. I use the pen tool to draw, for example, from here to here. Click escape in the keyboard. Then I click here to here, escape. Click here to here, escape. Click here escape. Click here to here, escape. Then I click here to here, escape. Now I'm gonna choose the node tool. I'm gonna zoom in. Then we can do some adjustments. For example, let's say I need this line here. I can fix this line here, something like this. Okay, now I can export. I'm gonna hide the background. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna export it as EPS. Okay, now back to Houdini. I'm gonna choose the file, reload. Then here you can do all the magic, the transformations you need. You can do whatever you need to place it in position for the stitching, to define the weld points. Okay, this is just we need to do this only the first time, as long as we don't change we don't remove or add curves later. Okay, so for example, let's do the first one. We click here. I'm gonna use the groups points. Then we click here, click enter. Remember to click enter inside the viewport. We click another one, enter. Then we need another one. We choose the top one. Click here, enter. Now let's do the middle one here. Let's add another one. Click here, click some points here, click here, click these points here. Now let's go to the other side. Let's add another one here. Click, enter, click, enter, Let's do the top one. Click, click, enter, click, click, enter. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong here. That's wrong. That's front 2. You can change it here. This way. Let's see. That's 2. See, you can type it here too. We need to fix this one here. So another one. Let's click here, enter. Click here, enter. And that's good. Okay. Now we can simulate. If you hit play, you can see it simulates. Now we need to fix. Let's say that's a really bad fitting, so I need to do some changes. Let's go back to the designer, and for example, let's change. We need some more fabric here in this part, so we can, for example, let's see if I can. I don't know if I can select. Yes, I can. So if I hold Shift, I can click select 2 segments. Then I can choose the move tool, so I can add more fabric here if I move to the sides. Now I need the node tool to fix this segment here and extend this other segment here. It just need to be close enough, don't need to snap. You can use a snap, but I don't think we need here. So we can now hide the background. I will save it and export it. So we export again, EPS, save. Go back here. Now that's the good part. We don't have to redo the seams. If we reload, you can see it just updates. Okay, so we are ready to simulate, and you can see already the changes we made. That's the good part. You can change, you can do any changes there, and that's all good. We can also do some changes here if we need to redo the edge length. That's here. That's here. If we, for example, we need some more resolution, that's not a problem. We already have it. So that's it. See? Let's do some more changes here. For example, let's change it back here. Let's say I need some more fabric for the bottom part. I can move this line here. I can select this line. I can extend. Let's use the node tool. So you see here that the main thing is that I'm not adding or removing lines. As long as I keep these lines, I can do any changes that I need. Okay, so let's hide the background. Let's export again. EPS export. And let's see how it updates. We just need to reload. And whoa, it did not work. Let's see. I think it's the fuse. Yeah, in this case, I needed a little more. We can see here that it did not fuse. We could fix it here, or you can increase the snapping distance here. Okay, as it is already too large, I'm gonna change and fix it here. So I can, for example, let's say I don't know if maybe it's not just here that's a problem, but I can use this snap. Let's see if I yes, this. So you can, if we use the snapping tool, we can make sure that everything is snaps. So that's, you can use this magnet here and you can snap everything in place. Probably a good practice anyway. So let's save, let's export, EPS export. Okay, now let's go back here, let's go here, reload. Yeah, you see, that's the snapping thing. So I will probably be using more the snapping tool. Okay, let's see how we simulate. That's a little bit slower. We can decrease the, or better, increase the edge length. So we can see we have less resolution but faster simulation. Then at the end, when we are done, we can use a lower value for more intricate results. Okay, so for example, let's see, and that's it. I hope you like it and have fun experimenting.